What is up, everybody? Glad to see you here. Thanks for joining the channel again. We're here today to talk about Chuba Hubbard, running back for the Carolina Panthers. And we had the Carolina Panthers draft a wide receiver very early in this draft cycle. Ted McMillan going there. But today we're here to talk about the running back. All right. We're here to talk about the guy who had his best season of his career this past season in 2024 and what his outlook for 2025 may look like. So, with that being said, let's present some screens here. We will start with Dynasty Data Lab, going over to their website to show you what the current ADP for Chuba Hubbard is. Okay, we're showing right here. RB20, pick number 76 off the board. Okay, if you're trying to build a win now team, Chuba Hubbard can be a pretty solid piece. He can be that running back that you can plug into a flex slot. Most leagues don't have three running backs that you're starting, so most likely looking at a flex spot for him. And he could give you RB2 production from that flex slot. Look at running backs going right around him, RJ Harvey, Caleb Johnson. So you have a couple of rookies. A little bit further back, you have Joe Mixon. Right in front of him, you have Derrick Henry. And this Panthers offense is definitely ascending. It is going in the right direction. And let's take a look at what this roster has from a blocking perspective in front of Chuba, in front of Bryce Young, who hopefully continues to take a step forward as we go into the future seasons of his career. But we'll move over here to PFF, looking at some of their roster grades. We'll see the high-priced free agents in Damian Lewis and Robert Hunt from previous off seasons. Man, they were absolutely mauling in the run game. You look at that, you see a run blocking score above 70. Above 70 is very good. We knew that they were solid run blockers to plus run blockers. All right, Robert Hunt had a little bit of issues, according to PFF, in the pass blocking game, but we're talking about running backs. And when you want to open up holes, that interior offensive line push and those tackles become oh so important. You keep going down the board here. You got Ike Ekwonu, absolute mauler, former first-round pick of the Carolina Panthers, manning the tackle slot for them. And then you got Taylor Moton, looking at him, more of a pass blocker according to PFF, but still serviceable. 66 is right around that, just slightly above NFL average for tackles. So overall, pretty solid. You look at their tackle group, PFF ranked them 22nd, 36th. You look at guards, 12th and 24th. That still means that you have two guards that could be very well starting on any of the other teams in the NFL. From a production standpoint, from a grading standpoint, they're doing all right. Where they do have a potential issue this coming season is at center. How's center going to shake out? Is it going to be, I don't even know, Cade Mays? Is it going to be scrolling down a little bit further to Austin Corbett? That's a position that will need to be figured out. Obviously, getting pressure right up the gut is never ideal for anybody. But overall, we're talking about a solid offensive line here. We're talking about an offensive line that is plus in the running game. You're talking about an offense that hopefully is trying to take pressure off of their young quarterback in Bryce Young to continue to allow him to develop as he goes into his third season in the league here. Man, this is make or break time. Don't know if Bryce Young has any wiggle room for major mistakes this coming season. Hopefully the Panthers offense continues to put it together. You still have Adam Thielen there, the old man Adam Thielen, who has been solid when asked to block. So that is going to be a plus as well whenever Thielen is healthy, being able to try and seal the outside. Now, people are going to be concerned. Rico Dowdle's there now. They signed him. Oh, and they drafted Trevor Etienne in the draft. Still got Jonathan Brooks. Jonathan Brooks is most likely going to be injured on injured reserve all season, so I'm not concerned about him. Etienne is a solid, nothing spectacular back. Then you have Rico Dowdle, who just had a very good season with the Cowboys as their lead back, but he's only signed to a one-year deal. So when you look at the contracts talk, money talks, and you look at Chuba's the long-term play there for them. They just gave him a contract extension, so he's pretty solidified. And now if you go over and you look at Fantasy Pros, all right, so we're going to bring up Fantasy Pros here, switch on over to what he did in 2024. Now, you got to keep in mind, Chuba Hubbard missed the last 2 games of the 2024 season. All right, missing the last 2 games in the 2024 season, he still had 250 carries for almost 1,200 rushing yards. Talking 4.8 yards per attempt. And that was even with being dinged up for a large portion of the season. Okay, if this offense starts scoring more points, if Tedero McMillan is able to open up the passing game for Bryce Young, they start moving the ball a little bit better, there should be plenty of touchdown opportunity if that all comes to fruition. You have an offensive line that is a bunch of road graders, able to move defenders off the ball, be able to open up those running lanes that, well, Mike or I might be able to run through. We may not get very far through them, but we could probably run through them. Then you go into his receiving metrics, and you see that he had 54 targets. Sure, is that a little low? Would you have liked to see more receiving production and more receiving opportunity from Chuba? Yeah, okay. But Rico Dowdle, is he going to take away 2 games plus worth from Chuba Hubbard this coming season? Is Chuba Hubbard going to produce at the 13.2 fantasy points per game clip that he was doing last season? I think that might be slightly rich, but you're still talking about a guy that's probably in that 12.5 points per game metric from a standard. And then when you switch over to a PPR standard over here, and you start looking at what PPR could be for the standings and for the points, and you start scrolling down, you see Chuba Hubbard here at 15. Like I said, receiving production was a little down, and you see him producing 16 fantasy points per game last year. Can he get 15? Well, what will 15 get you? All right, 15 points per game will probably get you somewhere around that RB 17 range, right where he was last year, maybe a slight dip. If you look at points per game, which if you're telling me I'm getting 15 points per game in a PPR format out of my flex running back, which going as the 20th running back off the board, I think is plenty reasonable to expect out of him if you're going a couple running backs early. So that is very much something that is in those range of outcomes. If he finishes in that tier, that puts him as a solid standing RB2, which at those prices on a competitive win now team or a team that I'm trying to make a push on, I am happy to try and invest at those prices. So all of that being said, what are you thinking about Chuba Hubbard right now? How are you thinking about this backfield? Sure, they invested some more in the backfield in the draft. Yeah, they invested in the backfield in the offseason. But even our friends over at Fantasy Calc got him at RB21, right in between that 201, 202 picks. All right, so if you're looking to go get Chuba and you haven't had your rookie draft yet, maybe think about trading off of that 201, 202, or maybe think about, if you won your league, congrats, by the way, trading off of that 112 and then getting Chuba and, say, a third to be able to go get another depth running back to be able to add to the depth on your team. As always, we appreciate you guys sticking around until the end. If you liked this video, we're working together on the series here to try and pump out some dynasty content to give you some players to try and consider, figure out what their dynasty outlook is, maybe try and be realistic and try not to get caught up in the hype. Or maybe we're going to try and push you on the hype train, say guys that we absolutely love. But if you wouldn't mind, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the NFL season. So if you wouldn't mind liking, subscribing, leaving us a comment, we try and get back to all the comments that get left for us. But with that, hopefully everybody enjoyed this recording and have a good night.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Football RPG Podcast. If you made it this far, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to check out written content, head over to lastwordonsports.com.
Don't let the goblins get you.